Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for being here with us on a Tuesday night. I know how I got here. Shout out to the composer of our show, E.O. Anderson.
You faded.
I think I did. I may have. I don't know. They'll have to tell us if I accomplished an actual fade. Ken Meringolo, Tim Strachan.
Fade, baby. This is already starting off great. It's a great Tuesday.
Kevin Ricca.
I don't know how I got here either after this past weekend, but that was a smooth fade in to the beginning of this next week. I like it.
E.O. Anderson writes all of our lead-in music, or pretty much anything we got. So if you hear it, you can find the song on Spotify.
That's the best part, isn't it?
Well.
Oh, well, maybe we can't.
Yeah, some lyrics aren't exactly.
Although we don't need radio ready. It's YouTube.
But I don't want to give the. I don't want to give. The algorithms are going to pick.
You don't want to give a
YouTube,
shit.
The algorithms
YouTube
pick it up.
flags us when we say the.
The fade worked. All right, we'll have to try that again. We'll have to go.
Yes.
We got the fade working.
Ow!
That's what you do
Slightly
in the
getting
fade
better
works.
every week, ladies and gentlemen. Just the slightly.
It's like the fifth device removed. So I didn't fix it on the computer. I didn't fix it in the camera or where all the sound is. I played a song on my phone, and that was the answer. So it's like 5 degrees of stupidity, and that worked. Working backwards through all the other things. The Washington Commanders are facing their first PR crisis. We'll get to that ASAP. That's late breaking. We'll talk about our potentially longer 18-game season and what that ultimately means, because it's happening and it's going to happen quickly. And how do we not talk about this? Emmanuel Forbes area is wearing a white shirt, handing his jersey off to what looks to be a high school
like
junior.
Some weight.
Yeah, you're like, oh, man, I'm excited.
Taking care of that little kid next
he's
to him
playing on
that's
our
at his
team.
camp.
And I'm like, wait, what if I told you his 5 years younger cousin was in the NFL? It's crazy. That's a big 17-year-old. Apparently, he's like 6'5" or whatever. He's gigantic. There's a reason why.
Is this a DB camp only? Because that's.
I don't know. That guy's a DB.
About how big that DB is.
He's huge.
I almost said the worst thing I've ever said.
Oh no.
I tell you this.
Okay, that jersey's covering something for a reason.
Twice.
That is not impressive to look at. I'm just going to be honest.
No, it's tough. It's hard. There's been a lot of Christian Gonzalez versus Emmanuel Forbes stuff that I've been totally ignoring, and this just lets all those people say it all over again. And it's I don't know. It's old.
I will say one thing. The only guy that I've done the comp with, because I stumbled across it this weekend, hungover as a dog, just chilling out on the couch after one of the many nights of pre-summer fun. I'm going to say right now, Trayvon Diggs, year 1 in Dallas without Dan Quinn versus year 2 in Dallas with Dan Quinn.
And you know his name.
Let's just say this, night and day. So let's hope for a little bit of that with Emmanuel Forbes and Dan Quinn, with Coach Witt coming through and everyone coming in around. I'm just going to say, year 1, just 3 interceptions, 14 passes defensed, and 58 tackles for Trayvon. Year 2, 11 pickles, 21 passes defensed, and a few less tackles. But Dan Quinn's one thing, his quote about Emmanuel Forbes, ball skills and ability to go get the ball and eliminate it. When you have that kind of rare ball skills and return ability with it, this is his superpower. That's what makes him unique. Our guy likes him, but can we feed his ass? Can we get him some protein bars? Get him on the Rhett Donnelly.
I just want to see the attempt. What are we doing to try to get him bigger? Are we doing anything at all? Is anyone doing anything?
Is there a photographer that has a bit of window shop to make him bigger? Because I think someone just shrunk his legs in a noodle size.
Look at his leg. Pull his leg.
No, I can't. Don't pull his legs apart. They're going to break.
Pull it back.
No, it's going to snap.
Right,
You got to make a wish if you pull those legs
Look
apart.
at that.
This is our only graphic all night. We have one graphic. I mean,
Holy
after we get past this,
shit.
it's gone for the night.
It looks
There's
like
no difference between his thigh and his calf.
He looks like the number 11 from the waist down. This is ridiculous. Holy sheesh. And I love the guy. I don't think you need to be all that beefy, but you can't be looking like...
What do you got hiding back there? What are you trying to hide?
Where did all the meat go?
Where did it go? That was a nice little...
Where's the beef?
white...
No, let's not.
NES Tecmo, Greg Martin.
Let's stop there.
AGH, manner of speaking, obviously
not a
EO,
scratch and
Rhett
sniff.
Donnelly, and Ken Harris. Peace
If you
and
put
love,
Martha Stewart
J-Dubs.
up on the screen right now, we might be seeing a Roman numeral 3. I don't know.
Oh, she'll find the meat.
If you haven't done
If
so
there's
yet,
anyone I know that finds the meat on that screen, it's old Martha.
subscribe. Martha will be out here. I mean, she's always a threat. She pops in right there over the corner, just a little team mom picture, right above Kevin's head. That's because I always feel like it's going to be above T's head because it's on my right.
Farting on his head, actually.
She is she's like leaning in. She's like leaning over and crop dusting when I'm going to take that off the screen.
I think you should. Whew. Now that I've learned that new move.
What about what?
My man Slim Pickens. I got it written down right here, manner of speaking. Look, Ken.
Slim
Pickens. Because, well, I was inspired by that photograph today.
I liked Ken's Tiny Forbes today.
Tiny Forbes.
Tiny
Forbes.
Honestly, someone doctored that photograph. That is bullshit. There is no way. He seriously looks like, I can't.
I mean, I want to know everything about that other player. Runner? How fast I can draft him for my team. But he's still, looking slight. The getting away, that's not like an actual real whatever crisis. We know he can play in the NFL. He's suited up and lasted a season. So what we haven't had yet.
No, he did.
Well, I mean, he's suited up.
He got
14 games, 6 starts, 1 pick, 11 passes defensed, 38 tackles.
Benched once for a while.
A.J. Brown will do that to you. He played. He showed some rookie-ness at some point, in the season, and whatever. He was a rookie, but if he can play better, I mean, he has a lot of upside still. There's a lot of upside potential, but the real player problem, this week has been Brandon McManus. The sexual assault allegations. It's like,
whoa,
come on, dude.
Come on, kicker.
Come on. I mean,
stop being a dick. Hopefully, well, listen, it's a little he said, she said at some level. I don't know shit, but we all know that that's part of the game right now.
The fact that he wasn't cut immediately.
I listened to the Junkies about it today, and it's a tough thing to talk about because at one point you're thinking, all right, this is kind of ridiculous. Apparently one of their friends that played in the NFL for 10 years said this doesn't make sense. That's not how these things work. Right. Then again, it's a London trip. It's long.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
We weren't there. We'll never know.
Witnesses have to, a witness has to come forward. Oh, otherwise, it's not going to, it's never, it is. It's just going to be he said, she said.
You take a kicker over to the pond and bring him back home. He acts like an ass. Then we sign him.
Well, did Jacksonville though kind of let him go because they had some inside information?
If Jacksonville is at fault for anything, then McManus is. Ultimately, it's going to be that ship's taking everyone down.
Probably is what it's going to really do. But
still,
I think
could we just not have it?
I don't think he's for long. I think he's out.
The thing that sucks. It sucks.
Rob Harris has to say,
we need a freaking kicker.
We have to wipe this.
Josh Harris.
I'm sorry, Josh Harris. I don't know why I keep saying it. He said we have to wipe it clean. Sorry, this is.
It's interesting that he wasn't released right away. So they're investigating it. They're looking into it. But from I hope people don't do that. But the penalty aside for him being a bad guy, which he should pay whatever price for, if that's what happened, is. We haven't had a freaking reliable kicker in a very long time, and he was a guy who could make 50-plus yarders, and once he's gone, there's nobody out there, and he will be gone. I agree.
I think Sly is available.
Brett Mayer is out there. I don't know. I don't think Joey Sly is available. I think someone picked him up. What's his face? Randy Bullock is available, and then you're talking about from there. I
could call Nick Novak.
Sure,
he's ready.
There's nobody. If we'll be going with a no-name guy, or bring in 2 or 3 of the guys who are on the cusp of getting a chance for a kicking competition in the summer, which will blow into something stupid and terrible before it's all over.
Are you going to jump in? Are you going to try?
That's the kind of circus we'll turn it into.
Well, that's what happens. Your new kicker gets all handsy, and now we're shit out of luck. We got a ton of money. There's just no kickers out there.
We can pay. Listen, we can pay for the best freaking kicker on the planet. We can get Ronaldo to kick for us. That's how much money we have to spend, and if we wanted to spend it that way. But once again, if you're going to be a defensive team with a rookie quarterback, you need to be able to get your 3 points, and you need to steal 3 points here and there also. You need an above-average kicker, which we haven't had for a long time. I don't know if McManus would have been that. He has been that, but doesn't sound like he's going to continue to be able to get a chance to be that.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how.
I don't think we see him in a uniform.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it. I just
Slides in Jacksonville.
yeah.
By the way, that would be the penalty. So if he faces criminal charges, that's fine. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, their penalty should be they have to give us Slide back. We took their sexual assaulter, criminal felony.
2 feet for 2 hands.
Yeah, you guys take this back. Listen, you just give us back. We'll start with the way the way it was last year. Just everyone go back. I mean, it just I don't know.
Just the creepiness of the whole thing. Just knock
Exactly.
it off, kicker.
Knock it off.
Stop being a dick.
I don't. When I never hoped
If
for
it's true, it's weird. If it's not true, what the hell is wrong with people?
Well, that's the problem.
Right?
And I hope they find it out to the best of their abilities.
Either outcome sucks.
It does. It's so annoying to have to read about it as a fan. It's so brutal. It sucks for everyone. And it's just no fun. It's no fun at all.
Okay, next issue.
Yes,
Greg Martin
yes,
says,
yes.
don't they have to jump through NFLPA hoops? I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure you can't just fire someone right away. Ken Ronaldo. Oh, so
Can't you
AGH
fire anybody?
doesn't like Ronaldo. Maybe you can't. I don't know. Listen, we have the HR department. That's next week. Next week we do an entire HR show.
I'm not going to be here next
It's
week.
going to be great. It's going to be pretty good.
I mean, and the other weird thing is I'm sorry. Why would the girls pick out a kicker if it wasn't?
Dude, they didn't pick him out. The allegation is that he was bumping and grinding on their body against their will. Sorry for the physical demonstration.
Eugene, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
God, you just got R. Kelly down there, Eugene.
The
Watch out for Puffy, you sons
The
of bitches.
allegation was unsolicited muff Bronco
There's detached
scenario.
motors flying around like arrows down there.
It's pretty.
Check your head.
I am 25% Spanish, so
That's a wine silky.
I'm just
You
kidding.
ain't Spanish.
Kenny from the block. That's me. The situation is horrible on every single possible facet of this. But again, jumping to the 18-game season. So we've been saying, I mean, I've been the 18-game season will 100% happen. It's always, there's never been, for the last 2 or 3 years, any reality that would end without an 18-game season. The NFL has been trying for this for a long, long time. The only reason why they let the preseason stay for 4 games as long as they did was to use them as like trade-off for this exact negotiation.
Good segue to the non-sexiest topic you could pick.
No, this is sexy. This is sexy, T.
What?
If you go to 18-game season,
one more game
you're,
that we all knew was coming.
No. It's the fact that the Super Bowl will almost always be on that holiday weekend for the 3-day weekend.
Bonus.
Yeah, and don't think that's not totally baked into this whole thing.
But what about the collective bargaining agreement? How do they jump through that hoop? It doesn't expire until 2031. And I understand that there could be some give and take.
Yeah.
But the players
all
are
money.
going to exactly, specifically.
money.
And the
Interesting.
players are asking
Money
for
makes it all go
a big
away.
old, well, yeah, instead of 49.5%, they want 52.
And
And all that money goes
Dude,
right
it's
into the
a-
salary cap, $600 million
yes,
filtered back in.
Yes, and the NFL gets away with one. I think I don't know that the MLB, NHL, and NBA. I think those players get more of the cash than NFL players do. Like a bigger piece of the pie goes to the NBA Players Association as opposed to the NFL. I think that is true. Like 52%. Like that doesn't seem crazy to me at all. Obviously, the NFL is 32 guys, but really you're talking about 32 teams of 50 guys each. Like they're the ones, cash is king.
2.5% equates to $600 million that goes directly into the salary cap.
Directly.
And that's exactly what they want. Plus less games in the preseason still. How many less can you have than 2? 1, 0.
I think they go. I think there's.
Scrimmages.
I don't think that there's.
Well, like for the second team practice squad guys and the borderline guys, there has to be some type of competition to delineate who the back half of your roster is. I understand how money dictates you can't get those top guys hurt, but there has to be some type of competition. We know that.
So the players are asking for a longer camp, a longer training camp. So instead of having so you would actually have training camp go all the way through the end of August without the games
But that's a trick because they're also asking for a longer off season.
That's true.
Meaning less days at work.
less days at work. 100%.
So they might start earlier, but they're going to have less off season responsibilities.
And the OTAs are a joke, and all they're already a joke. So if I'm in the NFL, I'm probably okay offering that away, because what do I need, a $20 million a year guy, showing up to ride a stationary bike for a couple hours for a few days? Like, what are we doing here?
Collecting checks, doing what you have to do to continue collecting those paychecks. Because
same reason employers are making people come in for at least 1 day a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. Yeah. Facial recognition. Let's all remember that we all still do work here.
You are
team
a
building. That's exactly. And there's cookies in the lobby on the way out with some punch.
I just think like there's some pie to give. Like all the other leagues, and MLB's gone through more strikes than anyone, I think, right? NHL's had their share of strikes in the last few years, even when no one cared. And obviously the players own the NBA. But like I feel like the 49%, if I'm the NFL owners, I feel like there's some pie to slice off here. You know what I mean? Like if you're telling me I'm going to get an 18-game season and all the other shit that comes with it, and all I got to do is shave off 1 or 2% of this thing, I'll be like, yeah. Here you
Netflix
go.
just paid $100 million for 3 games, I believe. I think there's plenty of pie
There
to be
is so much pie.
There's hunks and chunks of pie.
There's pie
so
everywhere.
many pies.
Our viewing is going to start costing us money eventually.
What?
What are you talking for the pie? People?
I just think the
Pie?
way the way TV
Did you prefer
and
streusel?
sports is all happening. It's going to start coming out of our pockets.
Yeah.
All the streaming stuff and everything. You'll see.
Gotta pay for that.
Peacock.
You have to pay for that pie, is what
Get
T's saying,
Peacock?
Ken.
Yeah, Peacock.
No.
I never saw one.
Yeah.
Never saw no peacocks.
When the Commanders,
I wasn't even there.
Peacock, are you going to get Peacock?
I will not have to get Peacock to watch that one game. If all I'm getting that streamer for is for one game, I know, because I live in the area, I know that I'm not going to have to get Peacock for that game, and I won't. But do they have other stuff that I want to see? I don't know. Probably.
It's not a great name.
It's not a great name. I mean, and Netflix is great. Hulu's great.
Yeah.
Apple TV.
Oh, because the P. How you say?
It just doesn't. It doesn't make
Max.
me say I'm going to watch that.
It's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But there's no other
They
bird
could have done better.
named streamers that I'm aware of that are big.
Should have gone bigger.
But they are Peacock. The Peacock is that's the whole thing about NBC.
It's a thick bird.
I
Very
think I like
colorful.
it. You know what I say strut your stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. But
Shake your tail feather.
what do they have? I'm
Seems
gonna
more
say shake its feather.
feathery than
You guys
meat,
both
but-
picked up on that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The 18-game season will 100% happen. It benefits everyone, including the players who will get more money as a result and have it and they'll get they'll get something for this. I mean, they get a pound of flesh. They get to pick what that is. So whatever the most important thing they want is, they're going to get it because the owners are going to pay for it. They're going to be like, okay. And so then it brings back, and I don't want to get myself too excited about this.
He's something's happening.
his horse. He's getting stiffer.
But then it comes
Jen
into
just made a break for it.
how hard. Like, don't we have that extra game? Can we not just do like a pick a name out of a hat formula that they did with the extra game last couple of years? Like no one truly gets. Like when we got the extra game in the schedule, they were like,
they don't reveal it until the week.
no.
before.
I want. It should be Redskins,
A mystery
Ravens.
game.
It should be Dallas, Houston. It should be Jets, Giants. Like that extra. They should come up. And I know not everyone has a natural regional rival, but guess what? In 25 years, it'll be something. In 30, then guess
Especially
what?
when there's 8 more NFL teams.
Yes.
So, because that's
Yes.
coming
And
too.
the ones over in Europe can stay over and play each other.
There you go.
And I'm not convinced. I mean, I think we'll see an NFL team based in another country in our lifetimes for sure. Even though they don't have to, they can just play games over there all they want. If I'm the NFLPA, how annoying would that be to have to like play a game, do your normal recovery from a Sunday game, and then get on a plane to London?
I mean, I don't know how you quantify jet lag, but
As
I know
long as you're not
it's
with
the
our
real
kicker,
shit. God.
See, now you're
Get
talking.
off of me, McManus. Jesus H.
I love that you were like, it's not like the women picked him out, and I was like, dude, they didn't pick him out at all. They were just stewardesses on a flight. Next thing you know, he's Muff Bronco in their, the stockings between their ankle and their knee.
No, we're not holding the ball back, McManus. Just get out of here.
And just
Hate flying with you.
since we are, I can't comment on an ongoing investigation, but what we do know is that one of the stewardesses has said she made eye contact with a number of players who were, or at least one player who was like apologetically, feeling bad about what was going on in front of him. Player to be named
Well, after
later.
what you showed, I don't like what was going on at all. I also,
You know what? I've said too much.
Maybe he was on medication.
Maybe he was.
Enzymas.
I love.
That's
it's
a
everyone's
bad
gonna
combination.
How many kickers have you represented, by the way? Because you are protecting that business right now.
There's altitude. There's going to be all kinds of stuff involved in this.
Kickers are weird.
Super strange.
Yet there's many that I like.
Yeah, it's true.
We're doing that commercial, by the way.
Some can actually be maniacs. That I've seen as well, because they have that mentality, like what's his face, Sebastian Janikowski type, just.
Well, he's a psychopath.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I'm sure he did terrible
he's at
things.
One end, but
actually, I'm not sure
like
about that.
him
I think you're great,
there.
Sebastian, and all your friends. I respect you. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I don't know. You feel strongly about that?
About what?
About that?
That kickers are weird.
The kickers are weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to turn the TV on in the middle of the night, and it's going to be a commercial. It's going to be like, if you're a kicker and if you've been accused of a crime, you deserve the law. You deserve the protection from the legal services of Timothy Strachan. I mean, I think you got a huge opportunity here. Timothy Strachan. I went with Timothy Strachan on that.
Have you ever said one time at kicker camp?
That one time at kicker camp,
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay, good.
It's hard to narrow them all down just to one time.
Well,
That's why they lock the tees up at night.
That's why they don't lock them up. You can still sneak them out. I mean, during the day, it's all about you'd be surprised how many tees you can fit in some kicking shorts.
oh boy. 1 inchers or the full threes?
This is we're talking about heavy turf.
Yeah, the black ones or the orange ones?
No, double orange all day.
Oh God. Sounds like it's gonna be an onside type of night.
If you haven't subscribed to First Amendment Sports, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Hit the old subscribe button.
Pull that tee out of your pocket and rifle it down upon the subscribe button.
Drop a thumbs up on us. Consider it a double orange tee. 18-game season. Kicker drama. Tiny Forbes. What else did we have on tap for tonight? I got it written down here on my.
Who needs a good camp, Ken? Besides Tiny Forbes, who needs a good camp? Tiny little Forbes.
Tiny Forbes has to have a great camp.
man.
How about we
Really?
agree?
Like,
We agree. Has to have a
Who
good
doesn't need a good camp?
I know, but who does
Who
is
does?
fun.
Yeah,
'Cause we already talked
right,
about
good.
Tiny Little Forbes.
So then let's do another topic.
Well, I mean,
before that,
he's our first round draft choice, and
Yeah.
it looks like he hasn't been going to the training table at all. Someone's got to get that guy a sandwich.
was that. I want to know if that picture was like a Polaroid from a long time ago.
I think it was touched up. By the way,
I think he should come to
he's
my
just
house.
fine.
I'll make him some BLTs tomorrow.
There you go. He's fine, but listen, that's just not a great pick. Doesn't. If I'm him, I'm not putting that one up on my as my Instagram joint at all.
It just sucks that one of the league's best kickers takes a bunch of heat for saying a bunch of Catholic things at a Catholic college, but our kicker, Muff Broncos, the stewardess on an international flight.
It's not good.
It's not good at all. It was a simpler time. Kickers thought women
Put the balls back on the tees.
Put the balls
motherfuckers.
back on the
What are you guys
tees.
doing without this? You're ruining it for everyone.
All right, so one thing.
So McManus counts as a guy that would need to have a good camp if he comes back, correct?
He has had the best camp ever. He should just put the tee at 70 yards out, and as soon as he ever tries to kick from shorter,
Here's
he'd
my
be like,
first name.
You're gone.
Brandon McManus.
Yeah.
Come on.
He needs a big
Weirdo
camp.
kicker. Better have a good camp. Now, not looking like, from what I understand,
The
tonight.
line, the whole line.
The whole offensive line, sure. I like to stay in the defensive secondary. I think this is a huge opportunity for St. Just to get his claws into a brand new defensive staff. Show that he was talented enough to make the league for a reason. I think that these are the kind of players when you change the coach we're changing defensive philosophies. Jack Del Rio, Ron Rivera defense out, and all these guys in, and the new guys coming in, like St. Just the same way like Trayvon Diggs that we hope for Emmanuel Forbes. Like St. Just is the kind of player who could flourish with this new system and this new regime. So camp needs to be big time for him. He has to, more than anything else, I think he has to get suck the most possible juice dry from this camp before week 1.
God, that was improperly worded at best.
It's a lot of sucking, dude.
Although I agree with the top 3 selections, they were my top 3 guys, and the fourth one I have is Tyler Biadasz. You need your center to show up ready for camp. This guy was a Pro Bowler in 2022. All the calls go through him. So you say O-line, I need my center getting out there. He's the guy making the adjustments on the fly. He's got to get this whole new system out there. And if he has an injury or if it comes, that will slow us down. So I need him to come out there, stay on top of his game, be the guy that's ever present, and do what he does, which is what he was a badass for 2 years as All-Pro in the Big Ten. This is a dude's dude. He came over here to play for a man that he respected, and I love it.
Huge
He's going to be a badass for us.
Huge pickup for us.
I think is the key to getting off on the right foot with especially that rookie quarterback right behind you, making him feel comfortable. Just stay healthy, Tyler Biadasz. We can't do the freaking O-line shuffle anymore. We have to maintain continuity early and often, and that's why I have him circled.
At a bare minimum, I think Biadasz is an upgrade for us.
He's a badass.
So I mean, I think like the floor on what he is, and how is very high, and this is the perfect opportunity. You marry a young center with a quarterback. I mean, if it goes well,
line
they could play together for. It has to be the strongest, smartest guy.
I think he's our best line acquisition. I do.
I agree 100%. I mean, I love.
There's another one that has 3 Super Bowl rings that we acquired that we don't talk about enough. 3 Super Bowl rings. Going to start at guard for us this year.
Allegretti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think he's. I think he's somebody who we need to play well. Yeah. He's going to get a chance. I mean,
damn right, he's starting.
I mean, I think Biadasz is on the next level.
Of course, they both got signed to 3-year deals. We're keeping that. We're trying to maintain this. We're trying to do it the right way, a way that has never been done around here in O-line forever since we invented how to do it up there up front. It's gotten away from us a little bit, but let's reel it back in.
I believe we're about halfway there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let me ask you guys a question because we're talking about the offensive line, and we talked a little bit about this last week. And if I correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember his name coming up, but I know that it has. Got some money. The closer we get to the regular season with some money to spend, I mean, there's only so many ways that you can spend that money. So, do you think if he stays healthy, especially through training camp and plays well, that we would be wise to put a reasonably priced contract extension in front of Sam Cosmi?
Yes, 100,000%. He's the top 5 offensive guard in the league. Last year, he's a guy that graded out, and I'm not a big PFF grade guy, but it does show some type of improvement or devaluation depending on what system you play in. And that guy was the #1 ranked offensive player from week 13 until the final game of the season in the NFL. The highest ranked offensive player graded out from week 13 on. He gave up 1 sack last year. Played his balls off. Yeah. Yes, that's the guy you want to keep around. If you have your center and your left tackle, your left guard signed up for the next 3 years, why wouldn't you want to keep your right guard right there with them?
Right,
and now we got some young bucks, and I don't know how ready they are yet. But
and I think you got your middle now,
and that's full market.
That's why we're only halfway there. We do need the bookends. That I think.
Well,
and you can use the salary cap space to your advantage.
We don't have them.
I'm all right with the way Wiley played in the back half of last year when he played healthy. I'm not saying he's great because he's not, but I think he could be good. I'm more worried about who's going to play that left. Like Cornelius Lucas is fine.
They're going to give us Brandon Coleman all day. You know that.
I know, but I don't know if he's. We can't just say Brandon Coleman and we're
ready
to be our guy.
They're going to. I think that's going to be the storyline the whole way. He is our left tackle, and with every day we see him working out, man, I'll tell you what, he looks better and better and better, and we feel so.
Well, that's great.
You know what I mean? Like that's what we're going to get a diet of.
If Tristan Wirfs gets super pissed, I would hand him all the monies in the world. He'd never take it.
Well, that's when you have all the monies.
But we have all the monies. Why not? If we could ever find a guy we could land at that left tackle spot.
If anybody comes available, we got to use those monies.
Or let's take those monies and get a left tackle. A great one.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you mentioned if there's a guy out there holding out, he's doing that to get all the monies. And Peni Sewell just signed some ridiculous extension on the same line. Peni.
Oh, wow.
Peni Sewell.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you like how
I was almost Haka. You had a Haka almost started.
I tried.
The inflection was especially well done.
You know what? I can leave right now. I don't know why I would stay any longer. It's not getting better than that.
Wait, we have 2 different Andrews on.
Well, Jesus, Ken.
It
sounds like we have a conundrum.
We do have a conundrum. The money has. So I'm just saying. I think all these ideas. I think that they're great because. I mean, we're not one player away from winning a Super Bowl, but we are one player, the right player away from being good for the next 2 or 3 seasons. And that if that right player is on the offensive line, it's so much better for us. Because to your point, if someone were to last just 2 good seasons on a 3-year deal, that's a huge win. From where we're standing right now, like you would take that trade all day. But that buys you time too, because we have other holes that we still continue to need fill through the draft. At some point in time, we're gonna have to draft a linebacker somewhere top of the draft. I mean, it has to happen eventually, someday. Someday we'll draft a linebacker in the first round. But
Jamin Davis just ain't cutting
or a left tackle.
Well, this seen Trent Williams listed as the number 13 ranked overall player in the league heading into this year. Remember so many years ago we were like, he's the best player in the whole world. And he's ours. Why would we do this? Why are we doing this?
And it wasn't
so
even,
bad.
I mean, it was the medical staff.
It was Bruce. It was they call me Bruce
Allen.
and he's a gross, dirty boo smudge and a pair of fresh tighties.
It's so egregious. It's so egregious. The out the door scenario that we experience as a fan base because of that's tip of the iceberg, but it's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's like still Trent Williams is mostly ice. He's a Hall of Fame left tackle that we drafted number 4 overall. First ballot Hall of Famer. He's a stud to this very second in the National Football League. Those are years that he would have been on our offensive line, and that he could still be on our offensive line. Like that's like a felony, like a triple felony.
Felonious
to an organization like you did that. Like you caught, like that wasn't they outbid us for his services. That wasn't he became a free agent and we were just out of money, or that was all we did that. We said we did that to ourselves because I'm still here, but that was so self-inflicted, so egregiously negligent of all duty and honor.
duty.
I mean, obviously, the Champ Bailey thing was different. Well, it's just
wow.
Like we're not the Montreal Expos. We can't be a farm, the farm league for the rest of farm team for the rest of the league. Which in many cases we were under Steiner. I mean, think about it. We were the freaking Expos, but it's bad. Like we got used and abused because of our owner and the people that he put in place. And so it's a different day. But we have to see Trent Williams' name's number 13 on that list. It hurts.
Heading into this year.
Heading into this year.
Yeah.
And think about it. As good of a tackle as he is, imagine how great of a guard he would have been.
Dude, he could play whatever the hell he wanted. He could be a backside tight end. He's a freak.
He could be a
when they
running
put
back.
him in motion and ran wham, and they showed Shanahan on the sidelines, like telling everyone, watch this.
Mm-hmm.
They put him at H-back, ran him in motion, brought him back across the formation on a down block on a D tackle. And it was scary.
Yeah.
It's scary to be in that position. You take a step forward, and Trent Williams with a 10-yard head start puts you into Tuesday on a Sunday morning,
Dancing
afternoon.
bear.
Holy shit.
And it's one of the most crucial positions in all of professional sports. That sums up where we went from 1995, the early 90s to last season.
Speaking of which, I was having dinner with my wife at Stella's, which is good food, by the way, if you're in the Kensington area.
Okay, sure.
Shout out Gavin.
And the Joe Theismann football story was on at the time, which is why it's the most important.
What channel was it on? Wait, it was on TV?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Joe Theismann story. Yeah, the NFL.
NFL, like 30 for 30?
Yeah, they're called the
Was this the one where he left his
football
old
life.
wife for a new wife and changed his name to rhyme with the Heisman, and all of our moms told us
they
never to
touched
be
on
like
that in the
him?
beginning, but it was mostly about him and Lawrence.
Well, he seemed like an alright guy.
So, which is why it's the most important. I mean, that's why it's the most important position in football. Yeah.
I would say that in his older age, Joe Theismann has been nothing but nice to me and to us.
Yeah.
We've had him on before.
He's mellowed out in his older age.
He didn't try to McManus anyone us at the bathroom at Stella's, if that's what you're suggesting.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't.
But I would say, having interviewed both those guys, it'd be interesting to see like Joe Theismann and John Riggins.
I think they're extremely
debate.
lucky there were no cell phones
Of course, we all were.
in their day?
It's the greatest thing that ever happened to us.
I would have rotary dialed a whole lot of tons of bastards and said, well, I'm hanging out with Joey T and John Riggins.
See?
911.
Down the 9 and the 1.
Uh-oh. I think that's a 911 coming in. Let me patch you into Ken and T.
If you're just joining us, no, the fact that we didn't have to deal with cell phones or cell phone cameras or social media through high school and college is the greatest gift I've ever been given by God.
That's why we're all allowed to sit here right now.
Yes.
There would definitely be a few smudges on the podcast thing. Like,
yeah.
he is no longer allowed to have facial recognition with anything, any
I
device.
think I could convert people by saying like, they're like, I want proof that there's a God.
You certainly
and I'd be
couldn't hide today like you used to.
they're proof that
Stick
there's a
and move.
God, that there's no photographic evidence of us before the age of 15.
Just understand that there is, and always be prepared for it. That's how I live my life. I'm
it's
not going to be
true.
surprised by anything.
Yeah, there's a couple of those disposable cameras. I have no idea where some of those ended up. I know
where they ended up. Onto a collage in someone's closet from 1991 through 97.
Listen,
There's no way to control the collage distribution.
If you found that Fujitsu 30 that I used as a sightseer in Washington D.C. in 1990, I would love it. I just want to see the pictures. I don't even know what pictures are on there, but I feel like they're pretty good.
My friends have done some weird things with those pictures.
Yes. I don't even care. Make them into T-shirts. Doesn't matter.
Shout out Maurice.
Shout out Maurice. I did this last week. So
Falsely accused. False accusations, aren't they the worst?
well, but he's not a kicker, so he can't get T to represent him, which is unfortunate for
He's
everybody.
a golfer.
Yeah, Teal
It's the
represent a
it's the
golfer.
Same physics.
So you can get Scotty Scheffler's lawyer. Scotty Scheffler.
At some point, I'm asking you guys 5 questions. Just tell
Okay,
me. No,
good.
they're quick and easy.
All
They're
right,
very,
so
very quick. I
love the
so
conversation
curious.
of who needs to have the best camp. It's coming
Yeah,
up.
it's a great
We're
one.
getting there. The last topic of the night.
Uh-oh.
How about Jaden?
Let's go.
Jaden needs good camp.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be good. I mean, that would be a great answer. If everyone had to take a player and you went Forbes.
And what is a great camp
St.
for him,
Jude's, Jaden.
other than staying healthy? It's you got to pick it up, and you got to know it like you're a veteran. In order for these guys to follow you, you've got to become a professional and an adult way before you were ever ready for it. He's got a lot on his shoulders. It's big time.
It's big time. He is looking the part. So I'm as you guys know, I'm working on having fun with the enthusiasm again. But at the end of the day, it's a rookie quarterback. We're still in year one.
Mistakes, that's fine.
I'm
It's
excited.
the mental part. It's the.
I think he's going to be good right away. I mean, I think he's going to play and he's going to
Everything
succeed.
else.
I think the whole.
We know he has the physical ability.
Yes.
Shit.
The way the league
And
is
he'll
designed
make
right now,
mistakes.
like he would have to be bad next year. Like he would have to play poorly and not be a good quarterback to not have a good stats, because they're going to put the ball in his hands. He's gonna have the opportunity to create and
in a position to succeed.
they're setting him up for success.
In a system that he has essentially run a certain degree of for 5 years.
Yes.
And 5,000 yards of total offense last year, and the only guy that's ever in the history of college football thrown for over 12,000 and rushed for over 3,000. It shows you throwing the ball. He can slang that thing. When it's time to go, he can. He's got to learn to protect himself early on and often. He can't be taking those hits he took at LSU around here. We know what that means, guys. We know.
Yep.
Hey, if we see him on the streets, slide, baby. Go just stop by Nats Park, whatever you need
put
to
him in
do,
a
brother.
room and make him watch tape of RG3
Yeah.
talking for hours, and then he'll know he'll.
Let me ask you guys this.
That would drive it. That would make any man hit the deck.
and learn how to slide.
Who is the most important conversation Jaden Daniels is having with? So I have my answer. You guys have your answers. Who, as we make our way to the season and we get into the season, which player on our offense is having the most valuable conversations with Jaden Daniels?
I thought you were going to say who. I was
And
gonna
we'll-
say
and we'll need-
Sonny Jurgensen was going to be my
No,
answer.
no.
But no, I'm picking up the question.
Yeah, what's the dynamic? And I'll lead off. I think it's Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler is a veteran a player in a position of superior value in the way that they want to design this offense. He knows right away where he wants to be and needs to be, and he can communicate that with Jaden Daniels all summer. But during a game, the one-liners and comments, I mean, he's been mic'd up before. Austin Eckler is a well-respected, super smart NFL player. He knows exactly where everyone else is supposed to be. He's like that kid. He knew everyone's job, and he just knows what he's seeing. His ability to communicate that to Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, that's the most important.
Well, the man from Western State, Division II. It's one of my favorite. Like I don't even know what the hell that is. I looked it up today. Now it's called
Eckler's from?
It's now called Western Colorado. So they've changed the name of the school he went to since he last went there.
Usually not. Yeah,
exactly. That says everything you need to know. And what a badass he is. But Terry McLaurin is that conversation. Terry McLaurin is that conversation right away. Hey man, listen, I'm wide open always, but I don't have that ego that suggests that you got to get it to me. So don't force it. Bro, I'm not going to come and give you shit unless I'm super wide open.
Yeah.
But I'm not
then
one
again,
of those.
when it really counts, force it to me.
And here's how to do it.
I know, but I'm not that dick that needs it. I'm that guy that's going to get the job done. Check my
here's
stats.
the shoulder. In a 50-50 ball, here's where I want you to fade it. Like, give me the chance over this shoulder. Give me the chance against this hash.
Terry's ball skills are absolutely tremendous. A+. Yep. So, yeah, he can go and get it.
I think
that's part of the conversation. Absolutely, yes. That is. But also saying, I don't need it for my ego. I need it so we can make first downs, bro. I got you. Here's where I'm at. Let's go. I'm here for you, and that's the conversation. You got to talk to that guy.
Mia Khalifa would be like proud.
Yeah.
Who?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mia Khalifa.
Really? Okay.
She's from the area.
She is from
she's
the
a
area.
Redskins fan.
A Duke fan, right? Also,
but
maybe?
She would be a great. I mean, if she's happy with the ball skills, then I'm sure it's.
So that's what you're saying?
It's a big deal.
That's Rhett Downey, everybody.
As Rhett shows his ball skills. How did you make him bounce like that? Well done, sir. Excellent crossover. It was like the Hardaway, a little bit more Hardaway than Iverson, I thought there. Yeah.
I saw a little Michael Adams in there.
Hey, man, you must have pulled out your monocle because
maybe
Michael Adams just a little guy.
Just equal parts Mitchell Butler and Doug Overton, and then I think you have what we're going for here. I'm excited about I'm excited about the prospects of the Terry McLaurin to Jaden Daniels thing, but and he has to be a wordy veteran. He's got to talk to him. The thing about Terry McLaurin, because that kind of fades into the last question of the night, which is
there's like apparently 5 more coming.
Rapid fire easy.
Yeah, rapid fire.
No.
The last planned section of the night, which was
this was planned.
Planned, totally planned.
Shit.
The most underrated Redskins in the national media that are don't get the due that they're deserving of because they just don't. When you look at these
I've got
lists,
mine, but I want you guys to go first.
Yes, all the lists that are coming out right now, you're seeing the top 100 players here, top 500 players, the top all the lists are coming out, top fantasy rankings, the PPR lists, in every which way possible. You have got to do some scrolling to get to Washington players. Which of those players is the most underrated in terms of what these people? I mean, clearly we're going to have a player that's finishes much higher in the rankings, and we're not getting anything.
I have 3 written down, so I want you guys to swing for the fences because I really couldn't differentiate, and whatever. Not that they're the only 3; they're my 3.
Yep.
So.
Underranked, underrated. They're better than they in the landscape of the league than they are getting. Why don't you? Would you want to take one of them? Do you want to pick one of those, or do you want to see what falls to you?
No, I'll go ahead and take one.
Yeah,
I don't think you guys are going to. Because I'll go up and take the one that...
I have two like number ones.
My guy is a first-team All-Pro and Pro Bowler, and on the special teams, Jeremy Reeves. No one from outside around here is going to know that we have a first-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, special teams badass. Of course, a great backup, but I'm talking about a special teams freaking badass.
Who we will need this year.
That's our dude. That's why we re-signed him.
He's made big plays too as a backup.
He has
in games.
He's gotten in games and shown that he can handle.
No one outside of us
He
would
runs
know
the
that.
alley like a freaking maniac.
Dude, in his conference at South Alabama, he was the conference defensive player of the year for a reason. And I love dudes like that just show up and just get the job done and stick in this league. And that was one Ron Rivera success story, how he stuck by him. And then Reeves was here from the old regime.
That's a good one.
Yep.
So Reeves is my pick
one.
because of his special teams authenticity mingled in with his backupness.
And so, yeah, his ability to fill in the defensive secondary when we need it, that is huge. But the thing about Reeves is now that first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler guy on your team, there's a whole brand new play for him to make a difference in, and we're seeing how they're practicing this play. We've been talking about it. I know we did not say it on last week's show, and I'm not sure if we did it on 2 weeks ago's show, so I didn't want to let it go that long without bringing it back up. But the kickoff is going to be for real. It's going to be a huge play. Fun stuff is going to happen on this play, and it's going to turn the tides of games. This play, I'm excited about that. Jeremy Reeves should be crazy excited about that because the way they're going to draw it up for those guys, I mean, they're going to get guys free. You're going to see one-on-ones, backyard style. I mean, it's the one play in football that at this very moment most resembles the way we played tackle football in the street or down in the field. In my opinion,
it's just a bit of a different speed size scenario, but
I've got to see it
yes,
first.
Yes.
I understand, T.
It's going to be very interesting.
I've been trying to convince you, though.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay,
They're going to run the swinging gate, but it's going to be a called play. And it's going to be called to either side that the ball's kicked to the opposite side. There's going to be stuff like that. It's going to be crazy.
I mean, there's going to be more rugby players like is it the Chiefs that brought the guy in? We're talking like 21, 22-year-old. Like they've been playing rugby their whole life. There's the other side of the globe. They talk about them like we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. Right, and they're going to be a professional rugby player. Now we're going to get those guys to come here. And now they're going to do more than just this play. But you're going to
players or teachers?
No, as players. You're already seeing it. We're recruiting them. I mean, they've never played football a second in their life, and this particular play is going to be their way in. Anyways,
53 man rosters. That's what we're doing.
I feel like I've said too much.
Yeah,
I feel like I've said too much.
I feel like I've been drinking too much.
I feel like I know I limit myself on the playoff on the kickoff play excitement. Thank you for.
You're welcome.
It's either that or Eugene Shen. I don't know what you wanted to see tonight, so I went kickoff play.
Where do you want to detach your boner, and what yard line do you want to place it on? Is the
How did I get here? How did I get here?
It's been a struggle all week, but I always know this: on Tuesdays, this is where we wind up. Whatever our path was.
That's what Eugene says over and over again as he taps his fingers together. Then I get here.
So I did this last week, and I'm going to do it again this week. And I want to say a special thank you to Fizz and Larry and our friend Stephen Young, who has been instrumental.
His name. Steven's his name.
Steven's his name. Yeah, they call him Steven. He has done all the heavy lifting in terms of putting all our content on Red Coral Universe.
Ooh.
And what he has also done is he's created an individual channel just for this show. Thank God it's Tuesday. Yes. So there will be an easy way on a going forward basis. If you don't see us live, you just push this one click and you get our show live. And I'm going to send you the link to that in the comment section of the show right now. So you'll have that.
Wild son of a bitch.
Yes. And by the way, it helps. It doesn't help us like, no one's getting rich off of, his, what was the ad you were talking about when you were at home? You were saying, you kept getting the hymns. I couldn't remember what it was. The hymns ads. Obviously, we're not making hymns money. I mean, that I know of. Have they approached you guys? Because if they have,
I'm not disclosing my discussions.
Have the hymns guys got to you? Kevin, I think it's obvious what's happening. We're going to have to approach a rival. Who's him's biggest rival?
I would say, what's the new one? The Mint.
Roman or something?
Roman was the original, But the mint, now it's Hims the mint. Hims is the mint. It's like the quick one.
They own it all.
No, the old stuff
They're
was
like
like
Mr.
you have to
Burns.
eat it on Tuesday and you'll be aroused by Friday. We swear for 14 hours, or
I don't
else
know.
call
I just
the
go
police.
straight up
Shen.
sildenafil, bro.
Craig
I mean,
Martin
I
saying
just-
Shen. Oh, he wants Eugene Shen.
Yeah.
I understand. All right, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna
Whatever
get
it
this.
is, it's a good time.
All
Had
right,
by
so
all.
I'm gonna get this link. Do me, and I want folks to remember, Red Coral Universe. All of the First Amendment sports content is being housed there. It's a fun spot, and you might find something else you like in the
They
Red
got
Coral
tons of
Universe.
other stuff,
Yeah,
man.
well, I'm saying like once you're in Red Coral
Definitely will
Universe,
find some other stuff.
they have all kinds of stuff, movies, shows, you name it, a lot of music. So check it out. You know what? They just signed our peers now at Red Coral Universe, the Terrell Owens podcast.
There we go.
So it's
T.O.
us. Obviously, it's us on one
It's gonna be a
side,
hell of a freaking office
and T.O.
party.
and
That's my quarterback.
I
baby.
have it. Would you guys be okay with if we did a cross promotional thing with their podcast? With the TO's
Let me
podcast?
think.
All right,
yeah.
so
It's fine. Just
we're making that happen. That's
T.O.
happening.
We're kind of dicks. Just being
Yeah.
honest, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am ready
Well, Ken's
for it.
really a nice guy, and T actually is a really nice guy. But we is what I said. We.
Also, should
Be
this be
careful
green
what
and
you
this be
say and how
blue?
you say it.
Yeah. Well, I
always liked T.O. He played hard. He was
did play
bonkers.
hard.
He was effing bonkers, but he played hard.
did you see? Okay, so I'm not as crazy as him, but I'm on like you passed me on the mountain up like with the peak
Oh,
being
dude, you're
crazy.
one of the weirdest people I know.
Well, I'm just saying I went back and rewatched the
where you're
Super
going
Bowl.
with
The
this.
Eagles.
I love how I'm part of this too.
Yes,
Like,
you are
no,
part of this.
no,
Yeah, I'm not like
I'm not like him, but
not like
I'm
this
one of the weirdest
guy.
people you know.
Some people, so I went back and I watched just because of T.O. I had a thought in my brain, probably because Larry and Fizz and Steven said, "Oh, we just started the T.O. show." So I was like, So I went back and watched that Super Bowl that he played in
That he played in with one leg.
with one leg.
Yeah.
I watched the whole game, and
No.
I watched only him. And whenever I had the option, and then most of the times you had a camera
It's
option,
broken.
it was so amazing what he did that day.
That's why you have to forgive him for many of his flaws.
Yeah, oh, God.
Because in the greatest stage of footballness, he was the baddest. He's one of
Yes.
the baddest ass performances
Ever.
ever
On the
witnessed.
field.
I couldn't believe it.
People
I
don't talk about it enough because he's a lunatic.
They don't talk about it enough. And that's what I thought immediately. I was like, I have to go watch that game again. Because that's what I think. When I watch that game, I'm just like, oh my, this is like the conquering of good over evil. Like, I mean, what he did that day was so insane. It was
The Dick Buckuses
was-
and Chuck Bednareks of the world would have
Yeah.
walked over to the offensive side and given him a little dap.
Yep.
That's all. That would have happened.
And you know what? We're as much to blame for all the things you would rag on a guy like T.O. for. Think about it. We're as much a part of that as anybody. The whole reason why people get like mentally broke in his position is because
It's because of us.
well, in a way, I mean, we finance that emotional investment system. I mean, we are pushing. Obviously, he's getting paid, but
I was unaware of my financial contributions.
I'm a huge emotional investor in a lot of things. I don't know. I'm very emotionally invested.
Hence, you're one of the weirdest dudes I know.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
See,
I'm
you're
also very
proving the
emotionally
point.
Yeah, you are.
invested.
I know you are.
And the
I know.
Strachans are from Scotland, where there's no emotional investment. So we've all figured out a little bit about each other.
Yes. No. Well, they run the bank.
A little town called
they
a
run
little
the bank.
town- A little town called Peterhead, I believe, on the southwestern portion of the island.
North.
The least known.
Northern.
The Scottish
north,
banks are the ones
east.
you want to bank with.
Port of Scotland.
And you better have some money. unless you're
AGH.
trying to
Maybe
get
I shouldn't
choked
say that.
out.
Here we are promoting Scottish banking, and
I didn't promote any Scottish
our
I
banking.
get along
one of our
with
main
AGH,
viewers is from
we're
Wales.
Yeah,
AGH,
exactly.
are you still on
Do
there?
we hate each other?
Who?
Me and AGH.
No.
It's a-
Scots and
No,
Welsh.
because you know what? Actually, that's a fair question.
I don't know.
You
I mean,
might.
I love AGH.
I retract my
Everybody-
initial.
That's
deny
the
and
an-
hate
everybody
each
who
other.
There's
likes
the answer.
AGH.
There's the question. There's the answer. That's the only answer you need.
Yeah. Well,
Historically speaking, are we supposed to not like each other?
If you're
Who
an
gives a
enemy
shit?
of AGH, I'm an enemy of yours.
Exactly, and that's how we do it in all
if
three
you're
of our
Scottish.
families, and that's why we all hang around. That's
it's true. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking for this.
AGH, we're gonna change the world, dude.
Well,
with T.O.
One
It's going to be T.O.,
one
AGH,
Tuesday at
and
a
the three of
time.
us. And by the way, that could be the recipe that changes things. Who knows?
It's better than Trump and Biden.
I agree.
Okay.
A bazillion.
Good.
Yeah. Those aren't my two favorite ingredients on how to change the world. That's all.
Just had it.
My money would be on us.
If anyone has the link, put it in the comment section below. I want you to set up our 5 questions. Give us the setup.
Oh, just very simple, easy, quick run, like just so you can't Google text them. I'm a huge fan. We're all huge fans, but we've had a lot of change, and I just want to have a couple funny little things that we should all know a little bit about. Fun, happy-go-lucky. It's true or false, so it's just true or false. Bang bang.
True and false. Okay.
Yeah, we're not. You don't have to have
no wrong answers.
Well, you can be right or wrong. It's true or false.
Okay.
True or false? Tyler Biadasz was a junior rodeo champion. Tyler Biadasz was a junior rodeo champion. Yeah, that's false. It sounded great there, didn't it?
True.
You definitely thought that Tyler Biadasz was a junior rodeo. I knew to start with that one. Great.
If you're just tuning in, Tyler Biadasz was in fact he competed in the junior Miss rodeo championship.
All right, Jaden Daniels. Does he wear number 5 because of Donovan McNabb? True or false?
True, that's
False.
true. Totally true.
Ken says true.
False.
He says false. It is true. Damn. He took number 5 because
I wish it was false.
By the way, I'm only saying true.
That's why I said false.
I only say true because it's like tails.
No,
Tails never
I don't like
fails.
that.
You always say true.
I don't like that, but okay.
is the all-time single season tight end pass catcher on our roster. True
Single
season receptions by a tight end.
So Zach Ertz had how many times? So
Is the single season receptions by a tight end in the history of the NFL?
Could he have had
Is
a
he
better
on our
season
season?
than
Is he on
Gronk?
our roster right now?
I'll tell you.
Or let's give the board a tad bit of an opportunity.
Just talking that out. Obviously, he's had over 100 catches in a season. Obviously, he has. Zach Ertz has done that. And that's what you're.
He had
That's
a
the question,
near
right? Catches.
MVP season, didn't he?
Just catches.
Just specific catches by a tight
gonna say
end.
true.
Single season, one season.
I say true.
Is he on our roster or not?
You know what? Because I know Kevin likes to trip us up.
I say true.
It sounds like a great thing. Zach Ertz, I think he's just short of that number. But he might be the guy. He might be the guy. Is he the guy?
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
116 catches in 2018 with a Super Bowl ring and 3 Pro Bowls. He's kind of a stud. Most NFL receptions by a tight end in a single season.
In a single season.
That's huge.
Yeah. I think it's huge too. It's badass because listen, we're in the Travis Kelce era right now.
What year?
2018.
All right.
What college did Zach Ertz go to?
But in tight end years, it's forever gone.
Sidebar, what college did Zach Ertz go to? And these are things we need to know.
My first
we haven't had them.
thought was Notre Dame, but it's not Notre Dame.
Not Notre Dame.
San Diego State.
You guys are getting warmer, both of you. Both of you warmed up to this.
USC? UCLA?
Tad bit smarter.
Stanford
for Zach Ertz.
Stanford?
Yes. And then Philly. It's so confusing. How do you go from Stanford to Philly? It's like, why would you spend all your time out in Stanford preparing yourself for life? Then they just throw you into the bowels.
Yeah.
The sphincter of the East Coast, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I can't. There's nothing
Yes,
about
it is.
It is the
Philly
taint.
that works
Does
for
Bobby
anybody.
Wagner have a little brother
It's
named
the taint,
Robert?
It's the
Does
taint
Bobby
between
Wagner
DC
have a little brother
and,
named Robert?
and New York.
A little brother named
It
Robert?
is the taint
It's the
between
taint.
DC
Sure.
and New York.
It's right
That's
there.
exactly.
Sure, because his name is Bobby Wagner.
Does Bobby Wagner have a little brother
Yes.
named Robert
He has
Wagner?
to. I hope so. I really hope he does. I don't know that he does or doesn't, but I'm praying that he does.
I'm saying false.
No,
I don't
he
think
has
you can do
to.
this.
I think you can.
You can't.
George Foreman.
He does have a little brother.
Is his dad best friends with George Foreman?
I was
though?
going to say he went the George Foreman route.
I don't know, but it makes me so happy. I only have 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a defensive end coached by Greg Lilly from Maplewood and Gonzaga? Do we have a starting defensive end coached
All right,
by
starting-
a local
That's too obscure.
KJ Henry.
Definitely yes.
Wait, Dorrance Armstrong.
That is too. Yes,
Dorrance
that's 100%.
Armstrong
Dorrance
was
Armstrong?
coached by
A guy that we grew up with
in high school.
But out of town in Benedictine High School in Richmond. Dorrance Armstrong attended Benedictine. It's where he found out that he was Dorrance Armstrong. And Greg Lilly's the type of guy that could find some shit like that out. Pretty special that a guy that we grew up with, looking up to, starting quarterback in the WCAC that we were like, dang, played at our boys club.
That's right.
Went down there and has been part of that program for over
Richmond
25 years.
And,
and just went to the Richmond Hall of Fame as a quarterback. Badass dude. Coach Dorrance Armstrong. So anytime we want to get some Dorrance insider information, I think we know which number to dial in the 757-703 region. And that's pretty freaking cool. Last one. True or false? True or false? This is for everyone. I want everyone to just comment on this one. For better or for worse. Is Jeremy Chin's uncle Steve Atwater?
Yes.
Is Jeremy Chin's uncle Steve Atwater?
I already knew that. Sorry. He is.
False.
Say false.
Let's do what you got to do. I want everyone's answer on that last question.
I could be throwing
Jeremy Chin. Is his uncle Steve Atwater one of the hardest hitters?
Is Steve in town? He didn't call?
Baby.
He didn't call me?
Baby, what time is it?
Steve Atwater in town?
Because when Steve comes in, people be forgetting what time it is.
He was no Alvin Walton, but he tried.
Oof.
But Steve Atwater was great. He was all-time great.
He put Christian Okoye out to pasture.
I mean, the only one that's more badass than that is Ronnie Lott.
I would have accepted Ed Reed also.
And final one for Ken. I wrote this down specifically and I forgot. Frankie Louvu. Yep. True or false?
Yep. By the way, this could come from anywhere. If you're watching at home and you're playing the home version of this game, what I want you to do is I want you to fold up your board.
This is for everyone too.
Throw the dice away.
True or false?
Just light a candle.
Was Frankie Louvu a starting midfielder for the American Samoan U17 soccer team?
100% he was.
Was Frankie Louvu a starting midfielder for the American Samoan U17 soccer
Unless it was like
U15
or something like that.
U17.
I know.
This is junior high school.
I think he was a defenseman, but I'm going to say true.
He was a stud. Stud. Great footwork.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Jeremy Chin's uncle was Steve Atwater. That's for real.
Sorry,
and
I already knew that.
Frankie Louvu was.
I did not know that, but I was
starting
sure
midfielder for the American Samoan under 17.
He's a great athlete.
Team. That's amazing to me. The only other thing I had was Cole Turner can look in two directions at once and drinks to make others more interesting.
That makes sense.
So.
Yeah. That's your third tight end.
That'd be great.
No, he stinks. So obviously he drinks to make others more interesting because no one wants to hang out with Cole Turner outside of Nevada.
But he can drink himself to a 7.5, maybe an 8.
Yeah, the Louvu thing is true. And by the way, Louvu was a kicker in high school, and 90% of his kickoffs were touchbacks. As we're talking about crazy, weird kickers today.
Different league now.
I really wanted to say it a bunch, but...
By the way, Joey Sly, great at kicking it through the end zone. That's no longer the game.
I know.
Now the game is kicking it as high as you can.
Pulling his hammy.
As high as you can and dropping it inside that little window.
Now it's get that 58 and back it up inside the...
Yeah. I mean, you're literally... This is a field position.
English on it.
So if
Get
you...
down on it, baby.
If you kick it out of the end zone, it comes out of the 35 now, right? I believe that's correct.
But if you hit that 58 degree, everyone plays a game of football from the catch that you want to see.
Exactly, that I want to see. But at some point... I think you're going to see teams, especially if for the teams that are more successful, like the teams that dominate that play. You're going to see it's like intentionally walking Barry Bonds. You're going to see them give them the ball in the 35. Like let's just say like Devin Hester was back there. You know what I mean? Like that's the era that we're going to start. So the next Devin Hester is on the way because of this, and at some point a team's going to be like, "F it." You can have the ball in 35. I'm not kicking to Devin Hester. I'm not giving him 10 blockers and a game plan for him to run on us because the average starting field position for that team is going to be like the 45 or midfield easily.
Bro, you watch a guy like Frank Wycheck, tight end body, but like a Chris Cooley guy, a little bit of that athleticism, catch it on the right hash, sprint to the sidelines, and turn around and throw it 30 yards backwards to a dude on a little swing cut with a back down. pick set. You can't hit a crackback anymore, but that's the type of shit we're going to be witnessing also.
I'm so excited to have you on board, by the way. And I know you were never off board. But
No.
I know I was bored. A couple months ago, you were like not excited about the talk. But I know. I was nerding out.
They're going to kick it somewhere to alleviate 40% of the game plan, but you're still going to have to figure out how to defend every inch in that 25 to 30-yard space. And with athletes that we have in this league, that is no easy task for any special teams coordinator.
That's right.
Now you see every special teams coordinator has got an assistant. Look across the league. Special teams coordinator, assistant special teams coordinator, assistant special teams coach. Well, there's a bunch of these dudes because now the guys are running around for game film and who's in. And if you're looking at it's like I said, we're talking about the old NHL ice hockey. Are you playing a bunch of bigs? Are you putting a bunch of linebackers out there? Are you going speed? What are we doing here?
Wait, so Kev, think about this.
When you guys can keep going.
What I'm saying is the trade-off.
You're going to like it.
The last few years, the trade-off was kick it through the end zone and give it to him on the 20, or have your kicker drop it inside the 5, which a lot of kickers can do, and then D that up in the hopes that you can get it inside the 20. So then they moved it to the 25, and they said, this is now the touchback line. And so
I'm being told 30 is the new touchback line. Sorry, 30.
30, not 35. I'm sorry. So now it's 30.
Well, we're being told.
We're being told.
Yeah. That's why we all hang out together on Tuesday.
So if you're going to can keep moving that line of no play up, so now no play gets you the 30. If you still thought the kickoff was the worst play in the world and you don't want to participate, the ball starts on the 30. But if you can get a kicker and you put that down and you put that in there, to me, it's got to be your second or third running back or your third or fourth wide receiver, maybe one of your top two, second or third corner, maybe one of your top safeties. The ball carrier on that play has to be one of your best athletes because this is a backyard. This is officially a backyard play. The ball has to go in that guy's hands. And then it's how do you block for him? Who do you put out in front of him? And I believe that if you put the right guy in the back with the ball, like the guy that everyone knows is like the badass backyard neighborhood baller. If you put the right 10 guys out there,
Tiny Forbes. X Factor.
It will be a street game for one play.
That's
right?
Effing fine.
Yes.
Tiny Forbes is going to be one of our best returners of the football in any kicking game that we have.
Sure, I'm down with that. I'm just saying,
and should be.
If you put the right person in the receiving position there, and the right person can't be a ball possession guy, the right person can't be a Liddell Betts or Skip Hicks or any of these guys. It's got to be the baddest ass guy. Yeah, X Factor, baddest ass guy. Where the other 10 guys are like, I'm going to jump in front of traffic to make this play happen.
And this should expand the NFL rosters by 5. This specific play that's going to allow
100%.
The huge,
because they're going to get hurt.
But the huge collisions don't have to happen anymore. This is going to be soft muscle stuff. This is going to be face to face. And this is going to be more of a rugby play, which is why everyone's doing their due digelence and bringing in the rugby guys.
But it still turns out
motions,
our athletes
everything
are still
right
the
now.
best.
Of course. Well, listen, man. If you want to do if you want to take the average rugby and average, I just went to this lacrosse weekend. The average lacrosse player in the Final Four was 6 foot, 187 pounds. And I'm like, that's cool. But
it's like so much taller than it used to be.
I'm considered the runt in my family, and I am 6 foot, and I am far past 187. So I'm thinking I'm on the higher end of things.
Before or after?
There's no sport I've ever been. I've never been on the higher end of things in any sport, and the sport we're talking about has dudes of way bigger mass.
Yeah.
And speed.
But pound for pound, our athletes, like if you think Mike Allstott, Jerome Bettis,
of course,
like those kind of guys. Like,
but those are in space guys. Those aren't 80-yard width guys. Those are right at point blank guys.
If rugby paid $10 million a year, Mike Allstott and Jerome Bettis would be highly paid rugby players.
Why would rugby ever play $10 million a year?
All I'm saying is
could be. You're talking about Hall of Fame guys. And
no. I'm saying the best athletes the better athletes are playing football than rugby. That's what I'm guessing. What I'm trying to say.
I think you nailed it.
Okay. Put it on the big board. Put it on the big board.
I'm not sure who needed to hear that.
I need to get the Lloyd Braun when he's like, ding, ding. Chalk me up for another one, big guy, when he's selling computers or pretending to sell computers in Mr. Costanza's garage. I know there's some Seinfeld folks on the board. We are dating ourselves. We're going to be back in 7 days to talk more about this Commanders. The June 1st cuts are upon us. We'll see if they matter. I guess the other thing I had queued up that we'll continue to monitor the training camp holdouts or the OTA holdouts, basically the voluntary, the stories that aren't stories. That if it's your team, you're like, can we stop talking about this?
Could we maybe get Brandon Ayuk, or should we not get Brandon Ayuk?
Can we maybe get Brandon Ayuk? Is really all I'm talking about.
He actually might want to be here.
Yep, and we actually have the money to pay him. And actually, his contract isn't that crazy.
Still. I know, but I'm just saying, we're not going to get those guys because they want to win one. But they know that the way to win one, Ayuk knows, I can get there this year, and in a year 2 or 3, we might be able to win one.
Where did Ayuk play college football? I'm trying to recall. It was Pac-12, right? I
want to say Arizona, but now I'm looking at like Brandon Ayuk. I know someone's going to look it up. I'm saying, dang it.
I thought he was.
It's not USC. It's not UCLA.
Not Washington.
Not Cal. Not Stanford.
Or Oregon?
Ayuk. I want to say Arizona. It's either Arizona. It's either upper top. Pac-10. Pac-12.
Oregon
By the way.
Is it Oregon State?
70 of our last 87 draft picks have been Power 5. Next year's a Power 4 scenario.
Yeah.
It's 70, and we've never re-signed, aside from Chase Roulier, a non-Power 5 draft pick in the last decade.
That's huge. That is absolutely a huge fat. Well, but that is
thing.
He played at Arizona. AGH confirmed all the way from Wales.
Good.
Wait, confirm that there's two Andrews. There's he played at Arizona Andrew, and there's the Luis Reese Zamet will get at least one touchdown this season on kickoffs, Andrew.
Well, we have Andrew Bias, a Gaithersburgian, Catholic Universityan.
I knew there was the color,
human being.
The colors on the screen.
Two tremendous humans named Andrew join us every Tuesday.
I have to the color differentiation you can see is hard.
Well, I'm colorblind. After
why did AGH get rid of his AGH?
I only see name handles. What's that?
Why did AGH get rid of his handle?
Well, he's just on the commenting board. He just comes across as Andrew, his first name.
How many pockets do you have and hands? Is there a clown hand feature attached to this device? Because
T insisted I
don't look
get
down
more pockets.
all show.
Me neither. But he just put both hands in his pocket, and then he took a sip out of his drink, and I'm super confused. And you were watching the whole thing. You didn't say shit.
I don't pay attention to Ken.
If you play that back in slow-mo, it'll be like, poo, poo, poo. You'll have no idea. It was crazy.
The Mr. Fuji.
When I went, because I did one of these, and I came back, and I was like, what's up? Kevin is like, wait a second. Santa's real. The show next week will be about the June 1st cuts, about the holdouts. Should there be any more? Put that in. There you go. Here we go.
It's AGH that made both comments.
It's me who made both comments. Yes. Oh, so he's two shades of blue tonight. You son of a bitch.
But Andrew Bias is always talking about. Andrew Bias is gonna be listening to this tomorrow thinking, it will be. Oh yeah, on the way into work.
So you got the link in the comment section. Please do us a favor, help us out. Click over on it. Let them know.
That'd be awesome,
that
man.
People that watch us are with us. We're going to transition more and more stuff over there, and ultimately, except for the live version of this show, probably for the most part, all of our stuff's going to be there. It's super easy to get. It's free. They do have ads, but so do we on YouTube. So they believe in us, and they're putting their own resources behind organizing this whole collection of our content, and we appreciate it. So support us in that fashion. We really appreciate that.
They made us go to a combine
doing super cool stuff.
Yeah,
man.
We tested out.
We did test
it. It worked.
Fizz runs a 7.4 on the 40. But when he gets there, I'm telling you what, right now, you're going to get the best hug of your life. So here's to you, Fizz. I hope you see that.
How awesome is all this?
It's cool. It's super cool. It's cool that we're just a YouTube.
I'm still figuring out how we get on air every week. So,
well, there was a second or two where you thought we weren't going to be on air. It was just going to be me and you here in the basement.
You almost had me.
With like the bomb shelter walls coming down the side.
I was never so happy until you walked in that door right there.
Well, I can say the same thing about this weekend. just to let everyone know, thank you all for your shout-outs on the Happiness Memorial Day weekend. Kickoff summer, super jammy jamness, because every song was played this weekend in front of all three of us and family and friend, and a tremendous celebration of happiness in these parts for staycationers.
Yes.
Everywhere.
I played it as well on the golf course.
Oh, man. It was so great to hear. And by the way, thank you. This is what we do. This is what we do. We make things better. We make things better for each other. How about that?
Maverick and Goose in 24. I think we can all get behind that.
How about 100 days till opening day, Greg Martin says.
It is. It's 100 days. By the way, he's a great source of calendar situations. 100 days till opening day.
That's an excellent compliment.
Yes. We got EO hanging out with us. Let's see if we still got it. I don't know if we're still connected. I'm going to see if we can go out on just the opening music. It's just so indicative of.
It is. How did we get how did
there it is. We'll see you in 7 days. I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday.
Later.
Did your pump fist just end the jammy jam?
What did you just pump fist?
He's doing fading business.
Come on, EO, break it down.
Nothing is familiar to me. I'm laying in a bush, but my shirt's up in a tree, and I smell like piss because I miss my pants. Sharpie on my face, and I'm covered in ants. Trying to remember the nights he
on Spotify, search dislocated space boner.
Capital B?
Capital B.
Oh, you're damn right it is.
We're still live, y'all.
I love when you fall out of the tree into the bush and it smells like piss. And you know there's only one reason.
There's only one reason. Oh, AGH knows. You never turn off early here on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
We have. We really have. Whether it's just a spray, a redirect, or just a straight shot right to the D's, we know.
Mine always happened at the beach.
It did.
Waking up to the sunrise somewhere that I wasn't sure where I was.
I believe.